You will now be joined to your conference. Lecture mode on.
Okay, hello and welcome everybody. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Helen Cole. I'm with Tourism Ireland, based here in the Toronto office. It's just gone 12, so we see a lot of participants logging in and signing in. Thank you for joining us today. Ireland trip. And we have three presenters coming to you from Ireland and one from the US today. We have Jeff Wright, who's the Director of Sales for North America. We have Grania Ross, who is the General Manager at the Dillon Hotel based in Dublin. And we have Tanya Cathcart, who is the Marketing Manager for Fermanagh Lake. So thank you to our partners for joining us today. Just to kickstart the I'm going to start off with Air Canada Rouge are going to be starting year-round access from Toronto to Dublin, and that's going to be starting in May of 2014, running through to December, and then from 2015 onwards, it'll be year-round starting in January. We also have Aer Lingus, and Jeff can talk to you in more detail about the fantastic service that Aer Lingus offer, and they're going to be offering year-round service as well, and that's going to be from Toronto to Dublin. And that's going to be starting on April 21st, running through to December, and then year-round in. And we still have our seasonal Toronto to Shannon, and also one a week from Montreal to Dublin. And breaking news this week, we have WestJet who are offering seasonal access from June to October, flying from St. John's. So there has never been an easier and better way to get to Ireland. I know we still don't have direct access from the west, but as you know, all these carriers do offer great connectors from the west, so do bear that in mind when you're thinking about your clients in the west coast or throughout the mid-Atlantic, mid-Canada as well. So great. And obviously, you can still fly via the UK and US, but why would you when we have year-round access? So a little map to familiarise yourself with the island of Ireland. It's broken up into 4 counties: Ulster, Munster, Leinster, and so Dublin. I'm sure many of you are really, really familiar with Dublin, the gateway city, and all these fantastic flights that are going in from Toronto. It's only a 6.5-hour flight from bus and taxi options from the city centre, and when we're thinking about Dublin and the gateway to the rest of Ireland, it's really easy to get into the city. Dublin is a really young, vibrant, historical city, so it really has a lot to offer, the client and the Canadians. I have some distances here just to kind of give you a feel for how close everything is. We're a small island, nothing like Canadian distances. So when we say 3.5 hours and we think it's long, I know a lot of you laugh at me. So just to recap, Dublin to Belfast is only 2 hours. Dublin up to Derry, Londonderry, which is the UK City of Culture for 2013, is only 3. Waterford and Wexford, the sunny southeast. Dublin to Cork, just 2.5 hours. Kerry, 3.5. Galway 2, and Sligo 2.5. And I know Tanya will be talking a little bit more about Fermanagh and how convenient it is to make Fermanagh a great holiday destination. So as I mentioned, you're probably all really familiar with, the kind of highlights of Dublin. So I'm going to talk a little bit about new Dublin and what's new. But just to recap on, old Dublin, we obviously have the National Museum of Ireland. These are free things to do. Fantastic Georgian squares, Phoenix Park, where you can go rent a bike or go jogging around. Imma, New Lane Art Gallery, and there's a great free Visit Dublin PDF guide as well that you can download. So fantastic free things to do in Dublin, and just to kind of give you Dublin from another perspective, something different for your clients. And especially when we're considering Ireland for your clients next year and Dublin as a year-round destination, there's plenty to see and do in those shoulder seasons. In Dublin itself, there's the Dublin Flea Market, which is fantastic fun. It's every last Sunday of every month. There's the Halfpenny Flea. You've got the wonderful Temple Bar Saturday up from the West Clare coast, and they bring these wonderful oysters. You can go and sample a few fantastic homemade breads and jams, and even the contemporary side of Dublin food culture. Fresh olives and a mixture of cheeses. It's a really fun thing to do. Got the designer mart at Cowes Lane in Temple Bar as well, where you can get a great deal on all these upcoming and new Irish designers in terms of jewellery or handcraft. Festivals, again, when we're thinking about Ireland next year, when you're but to kickstart our festival season is obviously St. Patrick's Festival, which has really turned into a whole week-long celebration. In Dublin, you have the Riders Festival. Dublin is a UNESCO city of culture, and it's also a city of literature. So there's lots of great festivals around literature. One City, One Book in April, where they encourage everyone to read the same book, and then there's meetups and a festival based around appreciating that one book. The Dublin Festival season in October, that's one to maybe think of giving a little bit of value add and something special and different that they can really get a sense of the local environment in Dublin. You can be active in Dublin, which surprises some people, and there you have some city kayakers going right under the Halfpenny Bridge. So this is kind of new for Dublin in the last couple of years. You can do sea safaris out into Dublin Bay. Dublin is situated on a bay. There's Segway tours, Bixie bikes like we have in a lot of the major cities, rafting, hill walking. Dublin is surrounded by the Dublin Mountains, so there is actually lots of ways to be active, Really quick update. It's hard to squeeze everything in about Dublin, but hopefully that gives you a good overview, and I know the partner is going to take you through a little bit more. Just a reminder, and something new for maybe some of you, is our new trade website dedicated to our Canadian trade, and that's our brand new website where you can sign up to our Ireland HQ Specialist program. There's a great toolkit on there, gives you itinerary ideas, lots of regional information. You can order brochures, you can sign up to our trade news. So check that out when you have time, and that will give you I'm going to switch over to the Aer Lingus presentation, and we are going to bring Jeff Bright, who is the Director of Sales for North America. Cool. So Jeff, have you?
Okay, thank you very much, Helen. Good afternoon, everyone. That is a picture of me. I'm not live today. As of the 21st of April, I'm just trying to see if I can get this thing to move down. Okay. Let me just give you a little bit of an understanding of who we are. There are 3 people that you would be dealing with in the North American sales team. That's Rose, who deals with leisure sales for North America. So reservations number out there, the flight information number. We have group sales, which is Groups Canada, Group CA at airlingus.com. Please give them a holler if you have any group business, and I will make sure that I'm involved in every one of the group requests because I want to make sure that you guys. Scheduling Toronto to Dublin. As of the 21st of April 2014, Aer Lingus will be flying nonstop daily service from Toronto Pearson International to Dublin. We leave at a decent hour at 5:50 in the afternoon, which gets into Dublin at 5:20 in the morning. Now, the arrival at 5:20 in the morning is fairly early, but what it does is it provides access into the city at an early time. It also gives the customers an opportunity to transfer to other cities in Europe that leave at the block right after 5:20. And in the morning. On the way home, we have Aer Lingus Flight 129 that leaves at a decent hour again in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. Gets into Toronto at 4:20. Now, the reason we have a 2 o'clock departure, it gives people an opportunity to leave out of any part of Ireland to get to Dublin to make a fairly decent connection. So let's see here. Europe, and most of those cities are accessible on this service. So the flight arrives at 5:20 in the morning and then travels on to a city outside of Ireland. So for any of your customers who didn't have Ireland on their thought process for this summer, you now have an option because Aer Lingus also allows anybody traveling beyond Ireland to have a free stopover in Ireland in either direction, and in fact in both directions. So if your customers are heading on to Rome and they want to do a side trip to Ireland, it's a 757 aircraft on this route. It gives us the size that we think we're going to need for the service. It gives us 12 seats in business class in the front, which are full recline sleeper seats in business, and the economy cabin has 165 seats in the back. We're using the 757. This is a first attempt for us with the 757. We have our crew is now officially going to be operating it, and it will be starting on April 21st. People thought that we charge for meals. We do not charge for your normal meals in economy, but what we do have is an additional option, which is called our steakhouse meal or our enhanced meal service, and that is 20 euros or $25 for the meal service. And what it basically gives you is essentially a business class meal equivalent in economy for just a few dollars more. So you have some people that are a little bit fussy about what they eat, and they don't generally like airline food, but our airline food is actually pretty good. So either way, you are not going to go hungry on the Aer Lingus service. The top of the mark. The connecting flights, We have a great connecting service in Terminal 2. I don't know if you're familiar with other connecting cities in Europe. The connections tend to be a little far away. Terminal 2 a little bit more about business class. We has in-flight entertainment in the seats, but with the business class you have a better range of IFE, restaurant quality dining, and for our business class passengers, they get to check in 3 free bags. So if you take add in all the baggage charges and all the other items, that business class advanced purchase fare really is a great climate. But we do have premium and we have premium seating that the customers can go for. Rows 4 to 10 and rows 23. They give you can get off the airplane a little bit faster, you get easier, earlier access to the overhead bins, and we also have the exit seats. The customer does have to be available to operate the emergency exit. So you have to have people in the exit seats that are physically capable. Okay, groups travel. As I mentioned earlier in the briefing, we do have a groups department, and if you so if your customer is just traveling out of Toronto, anything 6 or more is generally a group. And if we have to use another carrier, let's say Air Canada from Calgary or from Vancouver, group requirements are 10 or more passengers. We do have flexible advance payments. When you take a look at our seat sale airfare, they're generally do offer some flexible advance payment. It has to be paid by credit card. We're very keen to make sure that but what apparently is coming on in Canada, 2013 was the year of the gathering, but it really looks like 2014 is the year of Canada because it looks like there's so much more capacity. And I look forward to talking to everybody. All right.
Hey, Jeff. Helen here again. Thank you so much. Good breakdown of the service. I know we've just had a slight network connectivity loss. Everyone still would have heard you, but
Problem at all. In fact, I'm looking at these. I guess I'm looking at some of the questions here. Do we have an agent website? No, actually, airlingus.com is the website. we'll get back to you straight away. What is the class of service for the premium economy? You are actually allowed to purchase the premium service, in other words, the enhanced S-Class seat sale fare, which is the lowest price that you can find. All you have to do is add the $50 for the enhanced exit seat and the $25 for the enhanced meal, and all of a sudden your customer has a premium economy seat. So it's actually a very good value. Let's see, what else?
Right. Can you talk us through that?
Sure. Aer Lingus is one of the only airlines that permits your customers to do a full name change. A lot of the airlines do allow you to do a name adjustment, but for Aer Lingus, if, let's say, for example, for $157, Aer Lingus will allow you to change the name of that person from, let's say, John Smith to Mary Jones or whatever. And I think that in a marketplace is a fairly unique proposal. And we've done that specifically to make the ability to change and the ability to adjust
Very much for talking to us and presenting to us today. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry to say we're having major internet connection problems here, and it doesn't seem to be, sometimes this happens and there's a quick fix, but I'm really sorry to log in, but we're just going to try and see if we can fix it for 5 minutes. And if you can just bear with me, we're going to put you all on hold for 5, and I'm going to log back in 5 and let you know how we're going to proceed. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
Sure.
Bye.
Okay.
For 2. Okay, so up next we have Gráinne Ross, who is representing the Dublin Hotel in Dublin.
My name is Gráinne Ross, and I am the General Manager of Dublin Hotel. So Dublin Hotel is a 15 minutes drive from the hotel. So we are open 7 years, and we operate Victorian building, which was originally a nurse's home, and then we converted the building into a modern boutique hotel. It was built in 1900, but we opened in 2006. So really where we are located within Dublin is in the South City Centre. So it's in a very exclusive neighbourhood. Dublin is and just again 10-minute walk to the Merrion Square, where you'll find the National Galleries and Museums. But right around the corner from the hotel is a into the city by walking, but also you have the very exclusive neighbourhood vibe of the city. So this is our lobby space. We have a beautiful cocktail bar, which is very much a place to go and be seen on a Friday and Saturday night. It is definitely a labour of love. As I said, it's an independent hotel. My family own it, and I've been given the very pleasurable job of running it. So this is our back out on a weekend night. We have our library room, which is just off the lobby. It's a great check them in this space. We can also do meetings in this room, and we'll also do private dining for up to 22 people within the library. So it's just a nice versatile space. But again, their digestive after dinner. Again, this is another meeting room or private dining room for up to 12 people, and our restaurant. So our restaurant ingredients from our local suppliers and really doesn't do too much to it. We have no dress code within the restaurant. Everything about the hotel is very much about restaurant space. And again, the restaurant serves breakfast 7 days a week, and the restaurant is open then for lunch and dinner 6 days a week. We just close we would welcome you to give the profile of the guest to us that you're sending. So whether it's a couple on a honeymoon break or it's a couple on, celebrating, I would really encourage all of you to get in touch with us after you've made the booking and let us know who you're sending to us and how we can make the trip more special. Really, that is what our X factor is. Everybody stay and really get to know them and give them that warm 5-star. So you have full turn down service every night, complimentary water. Summer. So we've taken the best of the Irish artisan suppliers, so beautiful Keogh's crisps, beautiful we have a Bose docking station with an iPad in every bedroom, and I guess really what these are really useful for is we've preloaded them with historical so we have a selection of 5 experience suites. Some are large open plan studios personalize their stay. We have 4 twin rooms, and we're also open to taking groups. Anything over 5 we consider a group, and we're happy to take groups up to questions.
Thanks, Veronia. It's Helen here. Thank you so much for doing your presentation. We got a really good feel for the Dillon Hotel. Selma had a question.
Selma, we don't have interconnecting rooms, but what we have is end of corridor rooms. So again, we're a small hotel, so you don't have lots of rooms on every floor. The bedrooms bedrooms. So that is what we would allocate. If you have two older children who can take the twin room and perhaps you have two younger children as well, they can actually stay within the parents' room. So our style rooms would be large enough to accommodate up to 2 roll-out beds within the rooms as well.
More about the other types of experience suites. What's so special about them if the agents are looking to book them?
Of course, Helen. So we would say all our rooms are kitted out to the very same level. So really what you're purchasing is extra square footage. So it's the our suites. So obviously we have this room, which is room 201, which is overlooking the front of the hotel, which has beautiful Victorian buildings. It's on a quiet residential road. So this room has a beautiful view. And then within the bathroom as well, the additional feature within the experience suites is that you have your little television TV within the bathroom. But really it's square footage, which is the extra added amenity.
Okay, super. And in terms of location in Dublin, I mean, major attractions, that would be really helpful for them.
Perfect. So we're in South City Centre. So we are city centre. Little urban gem within the city. A lot of people within the city don't necessarily know about us. So we're tucked away, which is very nice. It's very private and it's very quiet. But as I said, just around the corner from us, you have lots of very famous landmark traditional pubs, and you have some lovely Michelin star restaurants right on our doorstep here. And then 10-minute walk up Bagot Street. It's a dead straight walk, straight up Bagot Street, will bring you into St. Stephen's Square, where the National Gallery is, and 15 minutes walk you're into Trinity College. Now when I say 15-minute walk, I would walk it in less than 10, but most people who are on holidays, it'll take 15-minute walk to bring you into Trinity College, and then obviously about 20-minute walk into Temple Bar, which is the main nightlife hub of Dublin. I guess the beauty of where we're located within the city is that you have very easy access to Dublin Airport, so you're not driving through the city to get to Dillon Hotel. And also, if you're going out to explore, as Helen said earlier, if you're going out to explore the Dublin mountains, it takes 45 minutes to be in the heart of the which is the main fishing town within Dublin, and that will take about 20 minutes to get to Howth, where you have a live fishing village and some of the best fish restaurants. And then you have 45-minute drive and you're in the heart of the Dublin mountains, where you can go hiking or you can just explore the really pretty little villages that they have to offer. And again, also easy access out of the city I know, Helen, you said 2 hours to Belfast, but I think about an hour and a half will take you there. And so
Yeah, actually, and a couple of agents have just asked. I know Shelley's wondering maybe what the closest DART station is if they do want to kind of hop on the DART and go out to Dalkey or Howth or Malahide. What would be the closest
yes,
station?
it's a great day trip for people to do. So our closest start station is Lansdowne Road, which is made famous by the rugby stadium, which is right beside it. And again, that is less than 10-minute walk to get to the DART station. We have a great concierge service who are often known to walk the guests to the DART station. So yeah, that will be a fantastic day for people to spend in Dublin. Upper Bagot Street.
And Grania, I'm sure that any of the agents who want to contact you directly, you'd be happy to pass on your details. I know we'll be filling you in about that later. But thank you so much for coming to us from Ireland, and we appreciate your time, and hopefully you'll get a lot of follow-up from our lovely agents here in Canada.
Yes. Thank you very much, Helen, and thank you for everybody who dialed in and listened to me today. I'm really looking forward to all these great air routes opening up from Canada. And as Jeff
Still here, we have a one last presentation, and last but certainly not least, to really home in on the theme of today. Obviously, when you get to Dublin through all these great direct flights next year, there's fantastic island to explore. And Tanya Cathcart, who is the marketing manager for Fermanagh Lakelands, is going to talk about this fantastic region north of Dublin. So Tanya, if you're there, I'll hand it over to yourself.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about this area of Northern Ireland. We're known as the Fermanagh Lakelands, and on screen at the moment you can see exactly why we're known as the Lakelands. This is an aerial view, and it's an aerial view and this is the place where the G8 Summit was held here in the Lough Erne resort. So I'll talk a little bit about that later on. Fermanagh Lakelands, as I said, is situated in Northern Ireland. Coming up to Fermanagh, so it really is just over a 2-hour journey to come from Dublin now up into the Fermanagh Lakelands. We are situated, as I said, about 2 hours northwest of Dublin, and we're actually just about an hour and a half drive from Belfast, and we're nestled just here in the southwest of Northern Ireland, just beside County Donegal and north of Sligo. You can see from the map here way is known as Lough Erne, and a lot of our visitor attractions and hotels and other bed and breakfasts all have the lake as a backdrop. So it's a very magical part of Northern Ireland. The lakeland landscape makes it a very attractive and picturesque county of Ireland, and we have a lot of people that come and want to experience life on the waterway itself. These are a few images of some to come and experience the historical islands, visit some of the ruined castles, and it's a lovely way to immerse yourself in the heritage of Ireland. This is a view of one of the most historical islands that we have in Lough Erne. It's called Devonish. It's and one of the best ways to get out on the lake is to have a trip on one of the 3 water buses that offer tours of Lough Erne. Now you can access these tours in a number of ways. For groups, these water buses can be hired privately, and you can go out on a tour which lasts probably about 2 hours. The captain of the water bus will tell the group all about the things that there are to see and do on Lough Erne. But also, if you've got clients September time. So it's a wonderful way to experience the Fermanagh Lakelands from a bird's eye view. This is Enniskillen town. Enniskillen is the county town of Fermanagh. It's right in the centre of the lake. It's a beautiful historic town, a very compact town. You're looking at Enniskillen Castle there at the moment, which is right in the heart of Enniskillen and houses 2 wonderful museums which are open for guided tours. The island town of Enniskillen also has its own craft and design centre. It has its own lakeside theatre, and one of the things that our overseas visitors love is the fact that the shopping little gifts and clothing items and things that maybe you'll not see in some of the main cities. I'm sure most of you will have heard of Balik 7. It's actually the oldest pottery in Ireland. It is exported all over the world, and it all started in Fermanagh. You're looking at a picture of the factory itself at the moment. It is open all year round for guided tours of the factory. It has a superb museum, it has a shop, restaurant, and it's very well equipped properties. The National Trust look after 3 properties in Fermanagh. This is one of our stately homes at Florence Court, and again these are open for guided tours from April until September. Likewise, Castle Cool is a stately home which is just on the edge of Enniskillen town, and in fact just recently we had a major Hollywood movie has been filmed there, featuring Jessica Chastain and Colin Farrell. So most of the Fermanagh folk Lakelands. Crom Estate is actually another property that the National Trust own. It doesn't have a house there, but it's a fabulous estate where people can go for walks and look at the flora and fauna, and it's a beautiful natural part of the Fermanagh Lakelands. Another very unique attraction for us are the Marble Arch Caves. They are the only cave system in the north of Ireland which are open to the public, and part of the tour, as you can see here, is an underground boat journey. And again, it's a more unusual attractions. One of our most unusual is a railway museum, which actually doubles up as a barber shop. So clients can come in here and get a haircut, but also then get a free tour of the railway museum. And you'll be delighted to hear you can come to this museum for free and you don't have to get a haircut. So it's just a quirky little visitor attraction in Enniskillen. And we also have in and European lace. I mentioned earlier the five-star Lough Erne Resort. This is where Prime Minister Harper spent a couple of days back in June. The Lough Erne Resort is Fermanagh's only five-star property. It's actually a golf resort as well. The 18-hole golf course was designed by the English golfer Nick Faldo. Lough Erne, and since it opened, I would imagine that there's many a golf ball has been lost forever in the lake, but it really is a beautiful establishment. It has 60 bedrooms in the hotel and also 25 lodges on site, which can be used as additional guest rooms as well. We also have a number of other four-star properties. This is the Manor House Country Hotel, and you can see it's a period property which has been extended in the past nine-hole golf course there as well. In addition, we just have a couple of four-star town-based properties. A lot of clients or visitors that come like to stay in the centre of Enniskillen, where they are within walking distance of the local restaurants or shops. And this is the four-star new four-star hotel opened in the centre of Enniskillen. It's called the Enniskillen Hotel, so it's an easy name to remember. And again, a very contemporary hotel right in the heart of Enniskillen town. And some of your clients might be interested in some maybe more unique properties. What you're seeing on screen here is the West Wing at Crum Castle. And this is actually a very popular wedding venue here in Fermanagh. Lord Erne actually still lives in the castle, but his son now rents out the West Wing, and it's a beautiful setting for a more intimate maybe family gathering. And this is also a similar property called Belle Isle Estate, which again school on site as well, and in addition to that, it has a number of self-catering apartments. Another very unusual property in Fermanagh is Lusty Beg Island. You heard me talking before about the lake that runs right the way through Fermanagh called Lough Erne. There Acre Island. You can access it by ferry, and it's got 20 self-catering units. It has got 40 bed and breakfast rooms, and it also has corporate facilities and an activity centre. And just this year they have opened a new island spa. So if you've got guests that are looking for something a little bit different, this estate which has a fabulous rural setting just on the edge of the Fermanagh Lakelands. And for any of your clients that are interested at Blessingbourne to use them, they're open to non-residents all year round. So that just gives you a flavour of what we have got in the Fermanagh Lakelands itself. As I say, I work for or if they want assistance with regard to itineraries, we are very happy to help you with any of those queries. We have a website, fermanahlakelands.com, and as I say, anything that we can do to help you and to help your clients to discover a hidden part of Ireland, we are very happy to do so.
Tanya, thank you so much for bringing us through your excellent presentation. We have a couple of questions for you. Shelley is wondering if the area is known for knitting and weaving or any mills?
It wouldn't be the sort of the area of Northern Ireland that would be known for sort of mills and weaving would be more so up around the Lough Neagh area, but I can certainly get you information on that. The Lace Museum, Fermanagh would have been very much known, especially 100 years ago, as but this happened in a lot of Northern Ireland where people would actually have made lace, but it was obviously all made by hand. So it would have been known more so for lace making, but there certainly are parts of Tyrone and South Antrim that would have been more well known for
Days at Lough Erne. Would packages include golf or?
Yes, they do. Yes, they have a number. They would do a number of packages. A lot of people come to the Lough Erne and perhaps don't go near the golf course at all. But it's a fabulous golf course, and they do offer golf packages. Absolutely.
And you mentioned quite a experience the properties, and you have one ticket or one card. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, I know the National Trust have a membership scheme.
Yeah.
They do have a membership scheme. That's probably more used by people that live here, because obviously you pay a one-off fee, and that means that you can visit any of the National Trust properties, both within Northern Ireland and just for visitors, but that wouldn't be one that I would be familiar with. It might be the membership scheme one you're thinking about.
Maybe, I think that could be it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you quickly mentioned Belle Isle Cookery School.
Yes.
Is the region known for any kind of special food elements or any kind of product in particular in Fermanagh?
Yeah, well actually in Fermanagh one of the most popular on their own island in Lough Erne, and then he sells the black bacon in his butcher's shop. So that's something that's quite unusual. We would also have a beef producer called Kettle Foods, who provide most of the local hotels with all of their beef. In Fermanagh. So if you want to come and get a tipple of local beer, We have two. We've Inishmacsaint beer, which is named after one of the islands on Lough Erne, and also Sheelin beer. So that has just been launched this year. So you can have a tipple of something very, very local if you come over.
And just one last question. Can you give some kind of time approximately?
2 hours south of the Giant's Causeway. We're about an hour and a half from Belfast. We are just over an hour from the city of Derry. And as I literally, I would say, 45 minutes from Enniskillen to the Donegal coast. And then we're obviously about 40 miles, which is about an hour from Sligo as well. So, if you base yourself in Fermanagh, you can certainly tour a lot of Northern Ireland, but experience is obviously
Thank you so much for bringing us through the wonderful Fermanagh Lakelands presentation, and
absolutely. That's
thank you
fine,
very
no
much.
problem at all.
And
You?
thank you very much to all the agents who signed in today for our first educational webinar. I know there was a few hiccups, so thank you for your patience and bearing with us. The next webinar is next Wednesday on November 27th, and we're going to be talking about Ireland, the all-year itinerary. We've got Transat Holidays. Joe Kudo will be joining us, and Geraldine from Elegant Ireland will be joining us as well. And then December 4th, 5th is our final webinar, and we've so tune in and stay tuned for our next webinars, and thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.